This is the Washington Times front page for Tuesday, August 23rd, 2022. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. More than a year after the chaotic U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, there are still thousands of Afghan allies waiting for rescue. Stephen Dinan talked with some of them who are stuck in a bureaucratic battle with the State Department. Many Afghan-born allies of the U.S.-led war effort who assisted American forces were promised a pathway to the United States through what is known as the Special Immigrant Visa. But now many cannot get out of a country controlled by the enemy that they fought. The U.S. brought roughly 77,000 Afghans to the States during last year's airlift, but only about half of those were in line or potentially eligible for the special visa. The State Department says 16,000 have cleared what is known as Chief of Mission Approval, the key step certifying they've earned the right to relocate. They still must go through a final in-person interview. FBI whistleblowers accuse bureau management in different field offices nationwide of corruption, cover-ups, and retaliation against rank-and-file agents who attempted to expose it. Carrie Pickett reports current and former FBI leaders at the bureau's offices in Miami, Salt Lake City, Buffalo, and Newark are facing whistleblower complaints. They include claims that supervisors forced or coerced agents to sign false affidavits and fabricated terrorism cases to inflate performance statistics. The complaints were turned over to Republicans on the House Judiciary Committee and likely will be part of a broader examination of Justice Department conduct, according to the whistleblower's attorney. Russian President Vladimir Putin has awarded one of Russia's highest decorations to a woman who was killed in a car bombing outside Moscow late Saturday that may have been intended for her father. Mike Glenn reports Putin harshly condemned the attack that killed 29-year-old Daria Dugina, a journalist and political scientist who was known as a strong backer of the Kremlin. In a statement published on the Kremlin's website, Putin called the car bombing a despicable, cruel crime. Russian investigators said Dugina died when the bomb hidden in her Toyota Land Cruiser detonated on a highway outside Moscow. Like her hardline ideologue father Alexander Dugin, Dugina was an outspoken defender of Russian culture and power and supported Putin's invasion of Ukraine in late February. You can read all of these stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page. You can also find the entire lineup of Washington Times podcasts at WashingtonTimes.com/podcasts. Former President Trump has filed a lawsuit asking for an independent legal review of the items the FBI seized from his Florida residence and return anything that wasn't in the scope of the search warrant. Jeff Murdoch and Susan Ferricchio report the lawsuit called on the court to appoint a special master to review the more than 30 boxes of documents and other items removed in the August 8th raid at Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida. A special master is a neutral third party, usually a retired judge who reviews evidence to decide what materials are protected by attorney-client privilege. A 2012 court case denying access to White House audio tapes kept in former President Clinton's dresser after he left office could help the Trump legal team to retrieve those records. The 10-year-old ruling, issued by U.S. District Court Judge Amy Berman Jackson, rejected arguments by a conservative watchdog group that sought access to dozens of tapes recorded by Clinton and historian Taylor Branch during his administration. A Justice Department spokesperson said only that the raid was legal, and further comment would come in legal briefings. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Washington Times in your favorite podcast app. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.